Teflon Tom. This man finds a way to make the playoffs, right? Like, all right. So the Bucks are 6-7. Panthers, Saints, and Falcons are all 5-8. What in the world? With 3 games left. So I'm gonna start this one off. I don't know who's gonna win this division. You look at the schedule, right? They all could win or lose either of these games. Look at the Bucks, right? They got the Cardinals. The Cardinals are shilling themselves, but they could beat the Bucks though. They are capable of beating the Bucks, right? One thing about the Cardinals, that like in a few games they have forced turnovers, and we just saw what the Bucks were like last week. I mean, yesterday against the Bengals, up 17-0, out of nowhere, turnover, fumble. They had Tom Brady had 4 himself, and the rest of the team had, and then Giovanni had fumble. So I mean, 5 turnovers in the second half, and every time you put them in good field position to get an easy touchdown. So then they got the Panthers, who've been looking good ever since they fired their coach. If y'all noticed, they only had 2 losses, I think, ever since they fired their coach. And the Falcons, who should have beat them the first time they played them, right? So I don't know. So if I had them, listen, then I want to say the Saints, but they got the Eagles right between that. They got the Eagles and the Panthers. I think the Panthers could do it, but the Panthers, yeah, I think the Panthers could do it, y'all. I think they could. I think the Panthers could do it. The Panthers have been playing out of everybody in the NFC South. They've been playing the best football, in my opinion. Their defense been playing better. What's his name? The quarter Sam Darnold actually been playing mistake-free football, even though he be putting ball in harm's way at times. He just looked like Taylor Heineke with the drop interceptions, but he's been playing well. They've been running the ball more. That's been looking good. DJ Moore been getting the ball more. He's been looking good. He looked good yesterday too. So I'm actually going to dethrone the Bucks, and I'm gonna say the Panthers, y'all. I picked the Saints before the season, but I just don't believe in the Saints. I'm gonna go with the Panthers.
That's crazy. That's
You did
crazy.
say the Saints.
I picked the Saints to win this division. I still think the Saints at this moment have the best chance to actually win it, but like you said, them Panthers, man, they clawing their way back. No pun intended. Like DJ Moore is actually getting touchdowns now. I know Robbie Anderson is in Carolina. I mean in Arizona. Like, oh, so now y'all want to put Sam Darnold in? You trade me when I told you Sam Darnold should have been the starting quarterback this whole season. Now you put him in and you start to win. Maybe Robbie Anderson knew something that we didn't, and that's his boy, so he probably would have got some more touchdowns. Because right now the Cardinals are out. They what? Done, son. So, and the Panthers have a great running game. The Saints, like you said, they have the Eagles in between, but at this point, I think after Christmas Eve, the Eagles are packing it up. They're getting ready for the playoffs, so they might really be the Minshew show from here on out. So, with the Saints defense, I just like the way the way they get to it. So I'm going with the Saints, man. I think the Saints could do it because yesterday was the first time I think the Bucks all season scored over 20 points, right? So it was beautiful to see it. But Brady, it's time to go home. You have no family to go home to now. You have your kids, but you have no wife to go home to now. Just go
Never too late.
home, bro. Yeah, at this point, I'll hold the boombox for you. Just be out front playing One Wish. Okay, we can get Giselle back, bro. We can get her back. Just listen to me, man. You can get her back. Even ESPN at this point, it's people saying like, "All right, bro, it's enough. Brady, it's time." Like they don't even want to talk about the Bucks no more. It's just sad. Same team plus Julio. Defense is a little banged up, but you're good enough to stay in some of these games. Like, who's the underlying element there? It can't be coaching because it's the same coaching staff. You're familiar with everybody. Leftwich is a good play caller. Like he does run the ball when he needs to run the ball. I mean, Brady, go home.
Like, he gonna go outside. Are we living in a dream world?
Hey,
Are your eyes still green? Hey, do what you gotta do, Tom. Do what you gotta do, man.
hey, man.
Man, this got to be the hardest division to pick in, man. It has to be. There's no way. There's no way this division is supposed to be this close this late in the season. It is not supposed to happen. The Panthers were supposed to be the worst team in the division, and they aren't. The Saints, I mean, they don't have Drew Brees anymore. They don't have Sean Payton, so we don't expect much from them. But we thought they'd be a little better than this. And I think more than likely everyone thought the Falcons and the Panthers were going to be the bottom two teams in this division. Other than Coach. Coach said that they were going to go 5-12. So
He on track.
he's probably the only one. And they are on track. But I want to throw the Falcons in here. First of all, Joe, is Lamar Jackson playing on Saturday?
He probably play. They said he said as soon as he'll be back is next week, basically, but we don't know yet.
Don't do this, Dave. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do it, man. I see where you're going. Don't do it.
I think the Falcons got a chance to win this division, man. I'm sorry. They got a chance. Hear me out.
Okay, I'm listening. Carl listening too.
Yeah.
I know they just lost to the Saints. 21. But did the Ravens look like they are, without a doubt, one of the best playoff teams this past Sunday? I know Lamar Jackson didn't play. That's why I'm asking this question.
No.
Does
No, they don't.
Does it look like Tyler Huntley can put up 20 points right now?
Yeah.
Or 10.
Well, against the Falcons, Falcons. I mean,
yeah, no, you keep going. Keep going.
his secondary is good.
Has the Browns defense played great all year? I don't remember everybody saying the Browns.
But they're starting to get healthy. They started to get healthy like 3 games ago.
They are starting to get healthy, but I'm just saying all year they haven't been.
And it's a division game too, so
That's true. I mean, if anything, that would probably be the only game they lose, and then they probably be out the playoff picture if they do lose that game.
Mm-hmm.
If they win,
probably not.
what I'm saying is, but if they win, they got a good chance because you got the Cardinals and the Bucks. You almost beat the Bucks, and you should have won if they didn't call that roughing the passer penalty against Tom Brady. I mean, for Tom Brady. If they didn't call that, then you would have won that game. You can beat the Cardinals. Kyler Murray is not playing, so you got a chance to beat the Cardinals. Falcons can win this. They can win this. But I'm going with the Saints.
Okay.
But I'm going with the Saints.
What? She just switched up.
But I just had to make a case for y'all made a case for the other two teams. I had to make a case for the Falcons because I'm looking at their schedule. It's not hard. It's not.
No, you're right.
It's not a hard schedule. And the Ravens defense, even though they only allowed 13 points, we know they have they've done it 4 times this year where they've squandered big leads and lost. So we've seen it 4 times this year. We saw it against the Bills. We saw it against the Dolphins. We saw it. We saw it happen 4 times. So it can happen. And especially if Lamar Jackson doesn't play, the Falcons got a chance to win that game.
You know what?
J.K. Dobbins, if he runs the ball crazy against the Falcons, then I don't think it can happen. But then again, he ran for 125 yards against the Browns, but they still lost. So,
you know what, Dave? You're on to something there. You're on to something there. Because if you look at the Saints, they got the Browns, like you said, are getting healthy now. The Eagles, like I said, the Eagles might not have nothing to play for, so that's 50-50. And then they got the Panthers, right?
Panthers can beat them.
But look at Teflon Tom's schedule, though. Teflon Tom got the Cardinals,
but
then the Panthers, and then the Falcons. So it really might come down to that last game where if the Falcons can, if both teams split and it comes down to that last game,
it might.
Nah, they need to.
No, look, the only way the Falcons will win, they gotta win out.
Lose one. Yeah,
they gotta win out because they're 1-4 in their division.
Yeah.
They got it worse, but the Bucks and the Panthers are both 3-1. Saints 2-3. So those 3 teams, it might all tie. They might all finish the same record. But the Falcons gotta win out for them to win the division because they already a game behind the Bucks, and the last game was against the Bucks. So not only gotta beat, they gotta have a better record than the Bucks because the division record is not gonna be better.
Y'all know what this sound like? This sound like the NFC East 2 years ago, last year and the year before. This sounds just like the NFC East. They like, if the Giants lose, then we can jump up. Nah.
You're telling me with 3 wins, we still got a chance.
I'm only picking this because of their defense, and I think out of the quarterbacks, well, I can't even say that because Andy Dalton is not great, but
They got 3 quarterbacks though. That's the thing about the Saints. Like Taysom
Out of the
Hill
quarterback is
is-
Tom Brady, but like,
Taysom Hill suck as quarterback. Let's not throw him in there.
no,
He
you
suck.
got something against Taysom Hill.
He is
He
not.
said that from the diaphragm, bro.
He a good athlete. He a good, great athlete. Don't get me wrong, great athlete. But quarterback, no. Don't put him in that quarterback. You're gonna lose. You saw that game against Dallas last year when he threw 4 interceptions in that game.
Yeah,
No,
he's not. Yeah,
he's not a
he's a
quarterback.
gadget guy, but he does a good job at that.
That is it. He's just a gadget guy. But
Hey, coach, the Bucks play in the NBA.
Oh, with the K at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah, I'm messing with you.
All right. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.